Alright, welcome back to another episode of Dave Makes Food. Today I'll be showing you how to make classic Italian meatballs in tomato sauce. We'll start with 1 kilogram each of lean ground pork, beef, and veal. If ground veal is too expensive or hard to find, you can just do 2 parts of lean ground beef to 1 part lean ground pork and it will basically be the same. Next, grate in 100 grams of onion. Then add in 3 large eggs, 75 grams of chopped garlic, and we'll be using 2 kinds of cheese, a pecorino romano for a distinct sharp flavor as well as parmigiano reggiano for an overall rich taste. Both cheeses will add a lot of umami and savory elements to these meatballs. The results will be much better if you grate the cheese yourself fresh, as well as being much more cost effective. We'll add 125 grams of each cheese, and lots of fresh cracked black pepper, 30 grams of chopped Italian parsley, 400 grams of breadcrumbs, 3 pinches of salt. Then mix everything really well. It's important to really squish everything together so the meatballs will have a consistent bouncy texture and not that of ground meat. This is a lot of work to do manually, but it's definitely worth the time and effort. Keep mixing and compressing it until the texture is consistent throughout. Once thoroughly mixed, it's always a good idea to make a little sample to check for seasoning. Then we'll roll them into balls. I prefer them on the larger side, so I make mine about 5 ounces or 140 grams each. Personally, I think they're a lot more satisfying to eat this way. At 5 ounces, these meatballs are huge, and 1 per serving is enough for most people, but here are the measurements if you want to make this recipe for approximately 5 servings, because this is a huge batch. Alright, at this point for health purposes, I've started to cut out the flour coating and shallow frying in olive oil, which is how the recipe was originally taught to me by my Nonna. Doing that will result in a nicer crust and richer flavor, however it will also add about 150 to 200 calories per meatball. If I was cooking for paying customers or trying to make the best meatballs possible flavor-wise, I would definitely include that step, but I'm making the slightly healthier version today. Bake them in the oven for about 25 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 degrees Celsius. They are ready once a nice crust starts to form on the outside and the bottom is browning as well. The last thing we'll have to do is bake them in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius in your favorite tomato sauce for 1 hour. If the meatballs and tomato sauce aren't hot, it will probably take closer to 1.5 hours. When the meatballs are almost done, you can cook off your favorite pasta noodles. Spaghetti and meatballs is obviously the classic, but I was awkwardly out of spaghetti today, so this is spaghetti and linguine. It's equally delicious, but it really doesn't have the same ring to it. And that's how you make my classic Italian meatballs. They might be a little bit more work than you're used to, but I guarantee these are worth the time and effort. Braising them in the sauce results in a pleasant, soft but springy texture, while also improving the overall flavor of the tomato sauce by adding a meaty savoriness to it. I hope you give this recipe a try. Spaghetti meatballs is one of the world's greatest comfort foods in my opinion, and this is the best version that I've ever had. I also hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like and subscribe if you did. And let me know in the comments below what your favorite comfort food is. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next recipe.